Coming to the next stanza, it reads, "You stand at the blackboard, Daddy, in the picture I have of you." So she has an image. Now she is referring to that image. That image is on the blackboard, and she says that you are there in my home. Now you will have to go back 2-3 stanzas, 3-4 stanzas. In fact, when she said that I tried to recover you, she went to the Poland, she went to the other places, but then she came to know that she could not find any the whereabouts of her father. But then she has got an image of her, and that image of hers is lying on the blackboard. And what she has to say about this particular image: "A cleft in your left chin instead of your foot. The cleft in your left foot instead of chin." Now cleft is that short opening that you may have. Some people have that in the chin, and if it is in the chin, it looks beautiful. It makes a person's appearance look handsome, more beautiful. But she says that it's on your chin, which makes you more dreadful. Look at the image that she is making. So again, the beautiful things are not associated with her father at all, but the images, the things that she associates with her father are, more dreadful, are more, monstrous type in nature, which make him more odd in appearance. What she says, ghastly or marble statue type, but no less a devil for that. No, not any less the black man who bit my pretty red heart in two. So what are you? You are no less than a devil. You are a bad man. You are such a worse devil that you could not spare your angel, your beautiful daughter, but you broke her heart in two, her pretty red heart in two. Now you will find that there is similarity between her father and Ted Hughes, which would be explained in the coming stanzas. "I was 10 when they buried you. At 20 I tried to die and get back to you." She says that at 10 you died. After that, I couldn't come to you. I couldn't recover you. I couldn't, find any whereabouts of you. And when I failed to find you, I thought I should die to come near you. So I tried when I was 20 years of old or 20 years of age. For the first time, I tried to commit suicide, to come back to you, to find you. Because again, what I am saying, that this violent, aggressive attitude of Sylvia Plath towards her father is because she thinks in her unconscious mind or in her subconscious mind, had her father been with her, her life would not have been so miserable. So she is making him also responsible. So she thinks that he is not part of my life here. Let me die and go over to him. It does have that negative imagery of her father, but it also has that unfulfilled wish in the mind of Sylvia Plath, where she thinks that the presence of her father could have made a difference. But when she tried to commit suicide when she was 20, as I have told you earlier, that Sylvia Plath committed suicide or attempted to commit suicide 3 times in her life. It was only on the 3rd occasion that she was successful in her attempt, and she died in her 3rd attempt of committing suicide. I thought even the boons would do. Now even the boons would again come up with 2 interpretations. Either I would come and break your boons and try to kill you with your boons, beat you and fulfill my this aggressive nature towards you, since I wanted to kill you. Or maybe I can find some relief with your boons. I can find some relief being besides you. These could be the 2 possible interpretations of this particular verse. Looking at the tune of this poem, it is more obvious to us that it could be that she would try to take revenge from the boons if we go through this poem. But the hidden meaning could be, the other interpretation could be that it could be that she wants to find some relief by being besides the boons of her father. Because remember, I told you in the introduction of this poem that when Sylvia Plath read this poem on BBC, she said that this is about a girl who has Electra complex. So Electra complex is about attraction towards her father. She could not get when he was alive, but she thinks maybe boons would do. Coming to the next stanza. But they pulled me out of the sack and they stuck me together with glue. I tried to commit suicide and come back to you, but they didn't allow me to die. They brought me back to life. But this bringing back to life was not full-fledged, but they stuck me with the glue. Stucking with the glue is always not a good joint. In Urdu, we always say कि जब गांठ पड़ जाती है तो फिर वो मजबूत नहीं होता. That knot is not always strong enough. So that is the kind of expression that Sylvia Plath is making here. And then I knew what to do. I made a model of you. A man in black with a Mein Kampf look. And when suicide also did not make me successful, then I knew what I should do. I should look for a husband. And a husband who was much like you. And I was successful in that. I found a man who was black as you, and who had a Mein Kampf look, who had a Hitler's look, and that man was Ted Hughes. Now again, here the reference would be to the married life of Sylvia Plath. How she thought that the life may change, perhaps could change after the entry of Ted Hughes, but that was not to be. But she found a replacement for her father in the form of Ted Hughes. And she says about Ted Hughes, and a love of the rack and the screw, and I said I do. So what I made? I loved him. He was a rack, he was not a great man. Even I was glued back to life. I was not in my perfect mood, and neither was who. But that is what I loved him. And I thought I do. I thought I have overcome all my troubles. I thought I have sorted out the problems of my life. And the biggest problem was to find you, my father. And I thought that now I do. Now I have succeeded in my mission. Now I have found a replacement of you. Now perhaps I will not need you anymore. And perhaps the problems of my life would subside. So Daddy, I am finally through. The black telephone's off at the root. The voices just can't warm through. Now this, the telephone is off at the door, this was done when she committed suicide in the third attempt and when she died. It was told that, she made breakfast for her two children, and then she cut the telephone lines, and then she came back to the kitchen, locked the door, and killed herself. That is how she committed suicide. So that could be an image that was there in her mind. But here it is that, all the connections with her father are done now. She has found a replacement of his, and that replacement is in the form of Ted Hughes. If I have killed one man, I have killed two. The vampire who said he was you and drank my blood for a year. Now that is introduction to Ted Hughes by Sylvia Plath. She says that I would now kill him, Ted Hughes. If I kill him, I think I have killed two people. My father and him, because he was like you. And he is a vampire, Ted Hughes, who has sucked my blood for a year now. Now this poem was written 1 month after her separation with Ted Hughes. So she again has nothing to say good about Ted Hughes, because Ted Hughes was into a relationship with another woman when he was married to Sylvia Plath. And when Sylvia Plath came to know about their relationship, she was hurt. 7 years, if you want to know, Daddy, you can lie back now. If you want to know exactly, it was 7 years that Ted Hughes, that vampire, sucked my blood. And I am done now. You can rest now. I have overcome all these problems. Now you are not needed to come up here. You had created a lot of troubles for me. That's fine. Now there is another one who screws my life. Now you don't need to, put yourself under any kind of a burden of torturing me, of troubling me, of creating problems for me. That's not needed. The other vampire is well doing that. There's a stake in your fat black heart, and the villagers never liked you. Stake black. Your heart has some problem. The heart of her father. And nobody liked you. All the villagers hated you. Because you were not a good man. You were not a sympathetic man. You were not having emotions. You didn't know how to love. So all the villagers hate you. They are dancing and stamping on you. They always knew it was you. They are dancing and stamping, you have died, and they are rejoicing this moment that you are dead, that you are no more. And they are stamping upon your grave. I don't know where your grave is, but they know it was you. Perhaps the people in Poland know where your grave is. And now they are stamping upon your grave. And they are happy that you are no more. They are happy that you have died, because they knew that you were not a good man. You were not a right man. You had a black heart, perhaps like those of the Nazis, those of the fascists. Daddy, daddy, you bastard, I am true. Now that is the last verse of this poem. I am true. You bastard is, the most abusive word that she has used in this poem. And you can see the build up to this word bastard. She used the words, oh, you, daddy, you, twice perhaps earlier also, but then put a dash there. Did not use this word. But as she concludes this poem, after writing some 80 plus verses, she uses the word bastard to vent all her emotions, not only for her father, but the vampire father figure that she thought was a replacement of his father, Ted Hughes also. So that was the poem Daddy. Now this poem is not an all-out attack only on a father, because the father is very bad, but this is an attack by a person who is in a state of depression and anxiety, and she does not find anyone around her who can help her, and who thought that the reason of her troubles was the absence of her father from her life, which she tried to replace with her husband, but eventually neither her father helped her nor her husband rescued her from the troubles of her life. And it is an outspoken case of a person who wants to vent out all her thoughts that are there in her mind in a poem. And that is the poem Daddy, where you will find a daughter who has got an Electra complex, who thinks that her father is a great figure, is a loving and affectionate person, who is caring, who helps her child to come out of the problems. But eventually that girl does not find her father around her when she needed him the most. So she thinks that her father, instead of being an attractive figure, instead of being a great man around her, is a person who is devilish, who is monstrous, who is Hitler-like, and she is like a poor, innocent Jew who has been put into the concentration camp, and all sorts of oppressions, all sorts of tyranny, all sorts of tortures are being thrown onto her. That is all we have in this particular lecture. It was a very long lecture. So we have divided into different parts. You can also watch, if you wish, this particular poem in Urdu or in Hindi. We have got a lecture on that, but for that you will have to join your academy, get the membership of your academy to get all the lectures in Hindi and Urdu also. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out your academy, where there is numerous videos, a lot of videos on English literature which could be helpful for you. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to share, like, comment and subscribe on your academy.